What's going on, YouTube? So today what I have for you guys, if you guys have watched any of my decal videos, you guys will notice that quite a bit of people have been commenting on doing multi-layered decals. So today I have the time and I will be doing two color decals. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that I am not a professional at this. I just got the machine, maybe not even a year ago. So when it comes to computer stuff, I'm not really too crazy about it, but I'm learning slowly. So just keep that in mind. Keep your comments on the low, I guess you could say. As even throughout this process, a lot of people have been kind enough to give me tips through the comment sections, and I've tried some out, and some of them work, some of them don't. So I've been making decals ever since day one, and I feel like if I can do it, anybody can do it. If you guys see me use the program in a way that maybe you guys wouldn't use it, like I said, it's just all because that works for me, and a lot of you guys might try it and say that works for you. Some people might think that I'm working too hard. Some people, just as simple, some people say that it's super easy. So this video is going to be pretty long. I'm planning on doing from beginning to end, so without any cutting other than when the machine is cutting, because that's really just a waste of time. So feel free to skip to whatever part of the video you feel like skipping to. I know that a lot of people don't like watching long videos, but I only do it so that you guys can get the 100% grasp of how it is, and you guys can decide whether you're willing to take it on or not. On the description of this video, I will link basically everything that you guys need to get into doing something like this, and you guys decide if that's something you guys want to try. So if you guys want to see other decals, other stuff, feel free to comment on the section on the comment section, and I will try to get to it. I just got my laptop now, so seems to be working way better than my computer. So I'm hoping on bringing out more videos soon. So yeah, guys, let's not waste any more time. Let's get to the computer and start cutting and designing. Alright, guys, so now that we have this set up on our Silhouette Studios, let me show you guys how I'm going to start this. So I'm going to start something pretty simple, but I want it to look kind of custom at the end. So it's going to be only a two color. Let's start with the words California. And let's add another one down here. Let's add these all in caps. Alright, so that'll be our two colors. You can go with a billion different ways, but this is the way I'm going to show you guys. So let's make this a little bit bigger. Now it's highlighted. I like it kind of bold because I feel like sometimes when it's fine letters, it's harder for the machine to cut. Or not only to cut, it's also harder to weed. So let's scroll through here. I'll find a good. Okay, this is a cool font. I like this one, but so when I like some fonts and I'm still not sure which one I want, I will duplicate. I will duplicate, and then I'll highlight this one and continue looking for fonts that I like. I think I'm going to end up going with this one because I've been wanting to make a decal with this font. So duplicate. One thing I will tell you guys is that fonts that have like a lot of this fine detail, these are extremely hard to cut on a smaller scale, so just kind of be aware of that. Since I want to, let me see, I want something kind of legible that is actually very legible, not hard to read. So I'm going to make some smaller stickers, probably about 12 inches maybe. This one looks pretty cool too. So let's stick with these three right now. The Republic, I just want it in bold. I almost want to keep it like this because I want to keep it like a standard. That looks pretty cool too. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna just keep it with the standard squared letters. No, I like the first one. Yeah, let's keep that one right there. So let's duplicate this a few times. Oh, I keep doing that. It's being too... Sorry, my baby's playing in the living room, so she's making noise. We have three fonts, so we'll have three Republics. If you notice, a lot of the times on these letters, they pass each other up like this. What you want to do is highlight it, right click, and then weld. Notice how they're all now touching each other, but then they kind of like they released their pass, so now you gotta group them again so you can move them all. If you don't do that, this is what will happen if you grab this. You know, it's in pieces. So group everything. Same thing goes with this font. You could tell that the letters are overlapping each other. So you can also go on to the right side right here, just to let you know, and character spacing. If you notice that, you wouldn't have that issue if you did that, but I kind of like them to be touching because it kind of gives it like a cursive look. Right there, that's good for me. All right, so now I'm going to weld these. I'm going to re-highlight them. Let's make them into a compound path instead. Weld those up. Group them. Okay, so this, I'll make them more or less all the same size. That way I can fit them all on the screen so you can see the difference of decal. Okay, so then I will take my Republics and put them on all three different areas. I want to see which style looks better on what, because some of them, because of the fonts having areas like this, you obviously don't want to put it like right there. So this might be something that'll look better in a smaller area, something like that. That looks good. Same thing for this one, but every font is different. So if you guys notice, the letters on this one are a lot bigger than this. And then obviously this one's going to give us the most. See, I don't want it, I don't want this too big. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make it like this. I'm going to make it smaller where it's still legible. I'm going to double click, and then I'm going to make my spacing further out. I'm at 200%, that's maxed out, and that's actually about perfect for this decal right here. So I'm going to bring this back just a hair. Bring this up. Alright, so we have all three right there. I'm going to do all of these in white and red. I'll show you guys in a minute why. Well, not all of these. I'm going to make probably two of the ones I like the most. I'll see if they all fit. If they don't fit, then I'll just use two of the three. This I feel like it's too big still, so we need to make this a little bit smaller. Same for this one. Okay. So now, one thing I like to do always is grab a piece of basically set up a big black box, because for the most part the decals that I make usually go on tinted windows. So I like to use this as reference for when the decal, to get an idea on how the decal is going to look. So the first thing I always do is highlight everything and then come up here, change the line to ghost. Now you get a good idea on, right click on this, send it to the back. If you still get spots like this, right click again and then backward. So then everything's is over the black. So that gives you a great idea on how your decal will look if it's single color, double color, triple color. But if you take off, if you add, well, I'll just do it on the top too. If you add the red lines back to here, see how that kind of gives it a bit of a different look. So, mamas, it's okay. All right, so it'll add a different look. Okay, so I'll remove that for now. All right, so now that I have that, I am going to show you guys how I add usually the offset to do a double color. You can also do double colors on a decal like this by simply clicking on this and making this black. You know, depending on where it's going to go, if you notice it disappears. So if you wanted this red, see, or if you wanted the California part red, you know, so it's different. I actually like this one. I like how that looks, so I might keep that. So as of now, I'll put this in white. I'm going to offset all of this. And one thing to keep in mind, right now, if you notice on the right, it's at 0.125. If I add color to that, I feel personally like that's too much offset. So I'm going to go back and probably do it at, let's try 0.8. I think that's what I did on my last one. 0.08. Let's put that in red. Now remember, you still have to take off the red line from that red offset, which is, as soon as I click on this, see how it thinned out a little bit? Look, I'm gonna do it. See? So that's more like it. I like that a little bit better. And I'm still gonna keep this one. I like how that looks. Let me, at this point, honestly, I'm gonna scratch this one. I don't like it one bit. If you guys liked it, I'm sorry, but you guys could try it out on your own. Let me see. I'm going to duplicate this, bring this up. I'm going to see how this one looks like this. So put that in white. Let's offset the whole thing. I know I want a thin line, so let's try 0.08 again. And in red. And remove the line. Okay, and that's how you are able to get your decals. I like this one better, and I like this one. This one is the font, I guess, with the back, it just doesn't look good to me. So I will scratch these. I'm gonna go with both of these. So what I'm gonna do first is group them so they don't move. Same thing with this. I'm gonna copy these. Now, the only reason why I'm doing this is because I already have a different setup right here where I wanted to show you guys. But you can go straight from the cutter to here. So Let me show you how you would do that. So you have both decals. I'm going to bring these up close to each other. At this point, it would be a good idea on the white at least to add the red lines, because it's hard to see against the white background. So right now they measure about 9. I like them a little bit bigger, so that's 9.5 inches. Let's make them closer to. Try to take up most of the space on this vinyl. So I'm gonna go with 11 inches by 7. Well, this one is 11.1 by 3.4, and this one is 11 by 3.8, almost 4 inches. If you guys want it at 4 inches, just simply highlight this and grab this and stretch it up. But don't stretch it out too much, because then it loses its look. So 4 inches right there. Same thing with this one. Let's bring it down to 4 inches. That still looks good. So that'll be a nice decal right there. Nice sized decal. So now, what I like to do the transfer marks, I highlight these right here. I make another one of these. Duplicate. Bring over. Highlight these. Put them at the top. Group them. Then what I like to do with this is put one layer for every color that you have. So now I'm going to duplicate this one, and this one's going to be in red. So now I have one layer. If you want 3 colors, you do another one of these, and then you do it that color, black, white, whatever color it be. So then what I like to do is bring these over, align them at the bottom and to the left. You have to go either to the left or to the right to make sure that they're perfectly over each other. I'll show you in a second why. So now we have pretty much everything that I need to cut this decal. What I will do though, I don't do the weeding lines, just because I've found it kind of a pain in the butt for me at times. So I simply add a line, through here to make it easier to cut, to pull without ruining the material. I'll add one probably right here. I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking, like, what the hell are you doing? But this works for me. It's just one thing that kind of helps me as I make this for the weeding process. Alright, so now that we have that there, the reason why I add these lines is because the machine cuts them for me, and they don't accidentally overlap on letters. If I don't put them there, it cuts exactly where it's at. If I go and try to cut with the X-Acto knife or a blade, and I accidentally swivel my cut, and I can easily cut into a letter. So I do this, it's just easier for me to work with. So then they're ready to cut. I would hit up here on my cutter. I used to start off with standard. If you saw one of my older videos, I always put standard, but I use advanced. And this comes from just learning with time how to mess with the machine. So let me show you. You take these off, but then you go to fill color. Unclick all of these. Nothing's highlighted. But the second I click on the red, notice how only the red area is highlighted. That's exactly. I used to do it overlapping colors and copying, and it was a pain in the butt, honestly. But I learned this, and it's a lot easier. So then, as soon as I click on that, I send vinyl, load up my red paper, red vinyl, and send to silhouette. It'll cut me that area. Then once that's done, come back and click this, click on the white, I don't know if you guys can, I don't like to use the white because it's hard for me to show you guys. You guys can't see it, but it's highlighted. But what I'll do instead, I'll choose the white to be the color just above the white. Same for this one. And group. This one will be the color just above white. This one. But we will be using the white white vinyl. So. Alright, so I put those back over each other. So now, see if you can get a better idea. See how now you can see the change in the color. Now it's not in white, it's in gray. So now you could tell this is ready to cut. This is ready to cut. You can barely see it, but that's ready to cut. And that's ready to cut. Alright, so now that I've got this, I'm going to do the same thing to the other decals that are on the other side, but let me copy these. Bring them over here. Alright, so let me show you a little bit of why I wanted to show you guys this page. Alright, so before anything, let me change this color over to white. I'm sorry, let me change the color over to the light gray. Same with this one. There you go. Now let's group this. Let's group this. Let's group this. Let's group that. Alright. One thing I noticed that it doesn't seem like I didn't group that one. It doesn't seem like these are gonna fit. So I'm gonna make them a little bit smaller. That's a little bit better. Same with this one. Alright, so now they're right around 10 inches. So I'm actually going to make them 10 inches because it's 10 and 10. I feel like anything under 10 inches for a decal like this is too small. Alright. There you go. Everything's good. I want to show you guys this decal right here. So this is something that I designed myself through this program, the Silhouette Studios. You guys have probably seen this decal on my channel. Then I also did something like this right here. This is actually extremely easy to do. What I did is just transferred an actual image from a Silverado extended cab. Then using this right here with the trace window, it takes some time if you want an original decal, but I traced the outline. So I traced the whole truck. Then I went in there with a fine. I went in there and, you know, aligned every single one of these lines. You know, and manually cleaned it up. All right, guys. Sorry, my baby's being cranky, so I have her with me, so you might hear an occasional blur here and there. All right, so then what I did was, you know, took this truck, added some lettering to it, made it a decal right here. Then I took that same truck and I brought it up and I added a bottom to it and made it a lifted truck. It's the same exact area, same exact picture. So then I mixed half of this one and half of this one, and I got this one right here, and I added my logo right there. So then, you know, any of these could be a decal already. So then this is a double color, and I want to show you guys the difference in the offsets. This is a thin offset. This is a thicker offset. A lot of people like the thicker offset. I don't really like it. But I also wanted to show you guys something a little bit different, kind of cool. That this is not in the center right now. Let me put it in the middle. There it is. A lot of people like these a little bit off. See how it kind of changes the look of the full decal? Maybe down a little bit. Gives it like a three-dimensional look. And the further you go out, the more the 3D look. So I kind of did mine just a hair, not too much. So you guys can kind of see it right here. It's thicker on this bottom side than this on the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave it alone. The reason why I chose red and white is because I have to do this decal for a buddy of mine. He's actually installing this on a truck that's going to go to the SEMA show, so I have to get that out today. But I wanted to add a couple of decals and I'll show you guys, you know, the silhouette does. So this is going to take quite a bit of time to cut, so I'm not going to fast forward or leave it running. So, you know, I'll just pick back up once the decals are cut. So I can add my registration marks. I'll put one right there. Duplicate it, bring it here. Align those at the top. And then group them. Then I will duplicate it again. So one will be in red, and the other one will be in white, but not really. It's the light gray. So then I will put them at the bottom and to the left. All right. We're good. Now I will load the machine with the white vinyl. All right, one thing to keep in mind is when you're making a decal that's pretty long, always run the vinyl through and keep an eye on this line right here. Make sure that the vinyl does not move, and if it does, adjust it. See, I got lucky that time because it's perfect. So I'm bringing it back in. I found out the hard way when I first started cutting because what I had done accidentally, I didn't pay attention to the way I had loaded the machine. So then about maybe 24 inches into the cut, the vinyl came off of one of these little rollers and it completely ruined the decal. So keep an eye on that. So once that's ready, let me go ahead and send. Right, so now everything's good. The vinyl is loaded. Let me make sure that when I click on this, put on advanced, click off the red, click on fill color, make sure everything's off, click on that. All right, everything is highlighted. So then I see the gray, I see the gray, I see the gray, I see the gray. Scroll down, we're good, and I see the gray. So we're ready to cut. I was going to add the lines on here, but it's just as easy to cut them with the X-Acto knife, so I'll show you guys how to do that. But you guys are welcome to use weeding lines if you feel you need to. All right, so let's send to the silhouette. And the machine will start cutting. All right, guys, so the machine just finished cutting the white. Let's unload it. All right, it's hard to see, but it ends right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and line this up. Find my spots on this. Let's give it a little bit extra. Right there. I'm gonna cut it. Alright, so now we're off to the red. I gotta do the same thing. Now I gotta run it and see if it stays in path. See, that one's slightly moving, so I'm gonna bring this back. I'm gonna loosen this up. I'm gonna bring it down just a hair and relock it and run it again. Okay, I think that's enough and it's perfect. Usually if it doesn't move within the first foot, you're set. Alright, so now let's load the red. Alright, so now we just cut the white. Let's move over to the red now. So let's take this off. Let's add the red. Notice how everything that's in red highlighted. So, including the registration marks that are actually behind. You don't even see them, but they're there. So the machine knows it and picks it up. Alright, so now that we got that on good, check that it's on vinyl and send to silhouette. It's going to cut everything that's in red. Alright, so while the machine is cutting, I'm going to go ahead and take my X-Acto knife and I'm going to kind of make a few cuts on here so I can weed all of this. I can see exactly where the letters are. Always make sure you give yourself a little bit of extra material, because you'd be surprised sometimes you're trying to get right on and you accidentally ruin it. So one thing I like to do is tape this up. So I'll use some clear tape at the corners to keep this perfectly straight for me, for when I'm gonna put the transfer tape on. Transfer paper, I mean. Alright, so this is the hard part right here. I'm gonna grab it, I'm gonna flip this, just like that. And I'll take my squeegee and I'll run it through the middle and then out the sides, a little bit at a time. Don't do big streaks because you'll ruin it. If you notice, like there's like a little crease right here, so obviously first do the bottom and work your way up this way. Since you haven't put pressure on this corner yet, the transfer tape will loosen up as you're squeegeeing this shut. And there you go. Just want to make sure you go over all the white real good, that way it sticks to the transfer paper. Take off the tape. I forgot to take it off on the other side, but you can usually reuse it, but I'll put new ones right now. Alright, so we are done with the white. It's ready to be transferred over to the red. If you were doing a white decal, that was it. You're done. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 decals already set up in 2 square feet of material. So you do the math. You know, if you guys go on the description, you see where I have all the links to all the material. Do the math on how that runs. You tell me if it's worth it or not. Now let's run the red. I only do this step right here because I like clean lines previously to loading into my machine. It helps a lot. Alright, so the same thing I'm going to do with this. I'm going to do some cuts on here so I can more easily a lot of times people always wonder why you charge more expensive when you do 2 colors. Well, you know, it's because you're technically using exactly the same amount of vinyl sometimes to do a double color. Like for this decal right here, look how much material is being wasted. So you have to make sure that when you're making this for an income, you have to compensate for that material and charge Maybe not double, but you know, close. This is the only decal that it's not going to overlap by the white, because the white's actually up here, so just letting you guys know. Alright guys, so there's the red all weeded through. So now what I will do is also tape this down. Where did I leave the tape? Right here. You want to pull, make sure that you have this flat, perfectly flat. You must even put a little bit in the center, do it. Alright, so we have this set up ready for our white. So now what I will do is I will, I don't know if you guys, yeah, you guys can still see that. I'm going to bring this up, get the registration marks up out of the paper. I will cut the back strip off so that I end up with this. I'm going to set my decal completely over the area, and I'm going to very carefully match these two squares. If you accidentally get them stuck, just make sure you don't press down, hold them and pull them back out. Okay, so you would think that that's good already, but I usually I'm not confident with that. So one thing I do when it's a lot of decals like this, or a really big decal, I will look through here. You can see clearly, if you press down on this right here, you can see the red in the background. So you just want to make sure that it's perfectly even or centered. So this right here, I can see it right there. It's pretty good. So I'm good with that right there. So what I'll do now, I'll put a big piece of tape in the center. Just like that. It's basically like if you were installing a windshield decal. Should be good. I will cut this. There we go. We'll bring this back down, then I will slowly join it. A little bit at a time. Now I'll remove my tape here. Just for the good luck, I'll put it on this side. I'll remove the top. Peel this whole piece off. And I am done. This is the part that you're happy about. Got a crazy awesome decal, or in this case 4. So all you have left is just cutting them out. Just cut off all the excess transfer paper. My baby's crying in the background. I'll go see what she wants right now. I'm almost done anyways. Clear all this unwanted stuff off. There's one. There's 2. And there's 4. You got all 4 decals set up right there. Here's your California one with the white and the red. This is the one with the red and white offset. This one, as you could tell, is the one I've moved over. And I just saw that I ruined this one, but it's not a big deal. Once I put this decal on the truck, what I'll do right now, if you screw up something like this and you catch it just like I did right now, you still have the font at the size of this exact decal. Cut something like this out right in the very corner and then just cut it. So whenever the decal gets installed, you just go in there and you put it on by hand. super easy. And then here's the ones for the windshield. Measures 22 inches wide by just over 3 inches tall. Alright guys, before I forget, let me show you what I had mentioned about doing this box. And why it's there. It's because that way you'll be able to see exactly what those decals are going to look when you're done. So yeah, we got all 4 of them done. Now let's finish up this video. Alright guys, so you guys just watched me make those 4 decals. The other one just got picked up, so the one for the windshield. So all I have is to show you these 3. So this is what I did. If you guys notice on this one, the little eyepiece is on. All I did is honestly I overlapped it over the transfer tape, and then I made 2 extra little cutouts of it right here. So, you know, if I was to sell this piece, I would just let the customer know, you know, I'll probably discount a few dollars. But it's not, he's not going to have any issues. To put that on, it's extremely easy once you've taken out the transfer paper, I'm sorry. So, you know, something like this, I'm confident at sales around $20, you know, easily. It's your own style, so, you know, you might want to sell a little bit cheaper just because it might be something that somebody doesn't 100% like, but they, you know, they like the overall aspect of it. This one right here, you know, something like this, you could push it on OfferUp, Craigslist, or even, you know, some kind of like an Etsy store or something. 10 bucks. The average rule is usually $1 an inch per single color on vinyl, and that's how I try to sell my stuff. This being a double color, you know, I would try to push it for about 15 bucks, 12 to $15. However, if you guys know, you guys can possibly get up to 3 or 4, probably 3 of these in 1 square foot. So you'd be looking at 2 square feet of vinyl, 1 square foot of red, and 1 square foot of white, which is very minimal. So take in consideration the transfer paper, which if you buy in the big rolls, I think it ends up being like less than 12 cents, you know, something ridiculous like that. As it sits right now though, the price on my whites and my reds, I believe it's somewhere around 60 cents, 70 cents, something like that. So, you know, judge that for yourself. I mean, you can easily make huge profits if you move this stuff to like social media, you know, if you're up for it. Me, I just stick to OfferUp. I have, you know, like I said, I take care of my daughter. So as of now, in the past 6 months, if you guys notice, my channel kind of decreased on videos, is exactly for that reason. So from this moment on, trust me, it's gonna pick back up. She's old enough now to be on her own. You know, she doesn't need full care of me holding her all day, so or taking care of her all day. This one here, I would probably put in the $10 area. I'll show you guys in a future video a way that you can get away with selling, or I'm sorry, with wasting that amount of red just for that small Republic area. I have been working on other decals where I find little tricks around it, and I can literally cut up to 15 Republics in half a square foot, and then put them on the decal manually, and then put the transfer paper on. So I'll show you guys on a future video on how to do that. If you guys are looking to kind of like not mass produce, but you know, go out there and sell in higher quantities. I know a lot of people are probably watching this that buy decals from me and like, what the hell, you know, you sell me those for 15 bucks, but you know, it's especially finding out how cheap it is. The problem is you have to spend on the machine, you have to spend on the vinyl, you have to spend on, you know, a lot of stuff. And to be honest with you, I think by the time you're ready with, if you want to stick to white, it's probably the cheapest way because white sells all the time. But if you want to do custom, you're probably going to spend at least, I want to say maybe around $450, you know, plus. And I'm taking in consideration the machine, a couple of rolls of vinyl. If you guys saw in the video, I have the roller that goes onto the machine. That thing is awesome. I don't use it like it's supposed to be used because I found out that it doesn't work out for me like that. But you guys saw how I used it, and it works awesome because it keeps the material in place. You know, the mats, the cutting wheels, the rulers, a bunch of little things here and there that add up, a couple extra blades. So, you know, actually, be honest with you, I've bought 2 extra machines just to have them on the back burner in case one of them just stops working. But I've had that one, like I said, almost just over a year, and it's cut tons of decals and is still running strong. So I'm confident that those are really well built machines. Alright guys, so don't forget to like and subscribe. More videos on the way for sure. I'm going to try to do a full section of decals, and then, you know, my usual DIY stuff in the truck section. So like I said, don't forget to like and subscribe. Keep checking in every once in a while and check out some of my new videos. Thank you guys for watching.